Hello to you all, gentlemen, ladies, in the middle and beyond. I'm your host for today's show. I'm Ace of Cuts, but you can just call me Ace, and I welcome you all to my wonderland. Today, we talk about when drama becomes trauma. Because we all love when those two things come together, don't we? It's a magical mix, kind of like acid and skin. Sounds fucking lovely together. To be honest, a YouTuber not long ago reminded me of this important subject when they tweeted about how people didn't treat the trauma as serious because it was like a petty drama. Or sometimes I want to just add they was even blaming them for it, because blaming a victim for being a victim is just such a great idea, isn't it? Kill me now. Because we all love the pain and suffering of others, and mixing it into little nitty-gritty drama title just take away every responsibility we might have had in putting them in that horrible position as an audience to begin with. Yay. And of course I just thought, hey, I should make a video about this bullshit. The answer to this might or might not explode in my face when I read the comments. Let's just pray for the best. So where do we start? We start in why the fuck our world is like this. Why? You see, that's why I don't live on Earth. My ace ass lives in fucking Wonderland forever. Now back to the lovely subject. This is obviously not the first time, nor will it be the last, that the community has spit in the face of victims with their traumatic experiences on display. Like, we are the commentary community. We are, the best community on how to ruin your mental health completely and in the worst way possible that exists on YouTube. Except the Minecraft community. That's hell. That's hell out there. Don't get close. And so, in today's show, I wanted to show you how deep and painful the word "it's just a drama" can actually cut. Especially the ones who were most affected. And why they don't, not even a bit, take of our responsibility as an audience or a YouTuber when we inflicted that drama upon someone. Especially if it was a false accusation. So let's start the show. In today's show, we have brand new examples, as always, because there's no end to the victims the commentary community has made on YouTube. Yay. First will be our favorite lizard coon from the Spoctor drama, because someone hated his lizard ass a bit too much to the point of complete and utter insanity. The victims of the Creepshow Out drama, because scarring hopeless Peaches and Emily out for allegedly just wasn't enough for her. And the one, the only, the worst of them all, who thought it was a fucking hilarious idea, a good idea even, to make fun of someone gay man attempt after he himself harassed him. The one, the only, the Calvin Guerra himself in the flesh with his clown outfit tightly on. Which his last name might or might not want to make me laugh uncontrollably, since it literally is Kaupu in Hebrew, which is my language. We shall see if I hold my sanity to the end of this video. Stay tuned to find out. Fuck, this doesn't count. Alright, let's begin. So, first, the Spoctor drama. Basically, I can summarize it for you all younglings who were tight fetuses when it just began, when it happened, in just one word. Hell. It was hell, tormented souls and deviant dweebs screaming everywhere to the point I really couldn't know which is who anymore between them. It started when 3 YouTubers, that being Atari, who apologized, Stories, who is a psycho, and Pentagram, who later said sorry and ran away, accused a 15-year-old lizard at the time in some P-word shenanigans with little to no evidence. So, a nothing burger case. And a whole cake of stories in Help Psycho. I'm sorry for every psycho that was compared to Stories. It was not your fault. She's beyond. I'm sorry. Basically, it was fun. Fun that I wasn't here to see it. Actually, yay. Even though the evidence were flimsy as screenshot with no source, and the backing of those shots were 2 girls. One of them was a vindictive ex and the other just vindictive. The community jumped on Spock ass like lions seeing fresh meat out of the gator. Since I guess the story and how big it is has to be bigger than even the truth. When the whole thing fell down with the Ponder Sprocket video, even though Spock was blamed and bashed for months, it was made a mockery in this community, with video after video blaming him in things he didn't do. People still, even to this day, sometimes blast him and say that his trauma just doesn't exist. He was a teen boy at the time that was blasted to no tomorrow for being a P-word with no evidence, and some had the nerve to be mad that he expressed suffering from what they did to him, claiming things like, he could still have other non-internet jobs, we haven't ruined his life, or things like, he's still a P-word, I have no evidence, but... Or the worst of both worlds, those who simply said he deserved it because he was just an asshole. Because being an asshole is just a justification for them to hurt other people. And the worst thing, I haven't seen people give him back what they took. And I mean in terms of mental health. People weren't as eager to make a video fixing themselves, as saying he wasn't a P-word, as they were eager to spread the word about how he is. I feel Spock was wrong in a way that left a scar on him, and this community is the one responsible, since we were just too eager to listen to the victim. And there's nothing wrong in doing so. Quite the opposite, it's good to listen. However, there is a need in hearing the victim, even when the victim is actually a person being wrongfully accused, not just when they are the accuser. Next drama. While it is insane, and I can't believe it went under the rug just because it was part of a bigger Creepshow art drama, we have some juicy, gross, false allegation of leaking CP, and the one being accused were 2 innocent drag queens, and again, no evidence existed to her false accusations, and the one to blame is Creepshow art. Now, I don't know what YouTubers have against drag queens, but sadly, Creep wasn't the only one that tried to paint innocent drag queens as evil predators. Blair White did the same, basically, in a video that got over 1 million views. While talking about drag queen predator, while having a different innocent drag queen as her thumbnail, and not fixing herself, basically implying that he is a predator and making people try to, dox or hurt him, which is great. We love that for us. Both of those idiots, creators, Creep and White, got us innocent drag queen harassed, stalked, and more, just because of false accusation of two dumb YouTubers with no evidence. And even after the dumb tubers admitted they're wrong, if they even did, and changed the thumbnail or erased the video to hide their mistakes, they didn't release any kind of video saying, "Oh, guys, what I said was a false thing. It wasn't real. Don't dox those people. They weren't to blame." No, they just erased it from reality, like it never happened. So people wouldn't know that it just wasn't real, which is horrible, because the damage was already done. And now, for the end of times, those innocent people will have to walk in the streets knowing that over 1 million people might still think they are predators, all while being completely innocent. And again, the dumb tubers were so eager to hurt them, and they weren't as eager to say they were wrong. They weren't as eager to say it was a false accusation. Maybe because they P-word stories just do better in the algorithm, or maybe because they didn't want to be wrong. Either way, their victims still suffering to this day because those dumb tubers' lack of basic research or integrity. YouTube sadly gives more focus to the accusers than listening to the accused or the defense or what they had to say, especially if the accused are innocent people with no public platform to defend themselves or little to know. Next case actually pissed me off, as if the other didn't. No, that one was actually despicable, okay? And it's Blair White again. Of course it is. Blair White and the mother of trans girl Luna. Where do I even fucking start? Blair obviously spread false claims that some woke ass mom was trying to force her daughter to transition from a boy to a girl. The woman got this poor mother harassed, stalked. There is no words that can describe the disgust I feel. And you know what happened in the end? In the end, it wasn't the mother that was forcing her poor son to transition into a girl. No, it was the father, who was just a radical Christian. Now, nothing against Christians, is just radical, and nothing radical is good. He was a radical Christian, and he basically tried to frame the mom for doing as was accused. He was even interviewed and admitted to this. He was like, my son would always stay my son no matter what he says. I don't care. I would not allow him to be a girl. That's against God. That's against my beliefs. That's against the Bible. Basically, the mother was trying to save her daughter because the daughter felt she was born in the wrong body and she wanted to transition. But the father didn't like it, so he framed it to the media as woke mom tries to force my son to transition, just because it would be a good story for Fox News or something. And Blair White completely went along with this bullshit, which caused the mother, who was already facing a lot of problems because she has, of course, problems in the family with the dad that forces his daughter, Luna, to stay a boy while she doesn't want to. And worst of all, Blair just... It wasn't enough. So she had to link a GoFundMe for the dad for legal fees so he could take custody of Luna from his mother. Yes, really. I'm serious. And again, because the mom of Luna doesn't have any public standing, any way to defend herself, people just believe Blair. People just harassed the poor woman while she's in her most vulnerable place, being blamed by her own husband for horrible shit, and having been in a problematic position in case of if her child will be taken away from her because her husband is fucking an asshole, okay? And to this day, I haven't seen Blair apologize, not fucking once, or even correcting herself. So 1 million people still believe this mother abuses, I'm gonna say it, abuses her child and forcing them to transition against their will. Can you understand what damage it entails to this poor family, to this poor child, to the mother? That's why I don't like Blair White. Anyhow, this is one of the last cases. The last case is gonna be the Kelvin Gara, Kelvin Gara, the cow puke himself, and his slanderous videos on Lars, Brennan, and Noah. Where do I even begin in this shitfest? You see, Kelvin Gara was not like the other trans man. No. He was a trans medicalist and felt he was special and his transition was somehow more valid than everyone else's. So he had to attack people that he viewed their transition as not good enough in his eyes, okay? And that's how he came in contact with some of Brennan and Noah and Lars' videos on social media. He saw them and decided to make a video about them, slandering them. Basically, he fucking claimed Lars was faking his disability. Yes, really. And not just that. No, it didn't end there. He went after Brennan and started blasting the poor non-binary person in just the worst shit. He attacked them for not being trans enough in his eyes and started claiming or even diagnosing Brennan with other disorders that weren't body dysphoria, just so he could say that they weren't really trans for him. And Noah, who how do I even start? Noah, they were attacked basically in one of Calvin's video, and because of that, they attempted game in because of the harassment, because a lot of people came from Calvin video to his personal private account and started blasting them. And the poor person was not great to begin with, so when Calvin came, it just made it worse. And the stupid Calvin just had to make another video about the thing because everyone was talking about it, about how he made someone gay man. And of course, you're not responsible for another person's mental health, but when you made a video mocking them on public account and something bad happens to them because of that, maybe have some decency, but not Calvin Garrett. No. He made a follow-up video about how it wasn't his fault. And, of course, he made an Instagram story about how they are pussies for gay men. Yes, really. Now, a lot of Calvin's audience has blamed the victims for basically being victims of Calvin Garrett. Basically not being good enough. No matter what, they weren't trans enough in their eyes. So they deserve to be doxxed, stalked, harassed in public. Lars said a few times that people actually called on him to the authorities, saying that he doesn't deserve his welfare because he wasn't really disabled, which caused him a lot of problems, and people were filming him outside in the streets, which is weird. Don't do that, people. And saying things like he's faking his disability and he doesn't really need a wheelchair, and he thinks he's transabled, which is something Calvin sticked on him. Basically false accusations, left and right. And again, the people here just didn't have enough of a public platform to defend themselves. And it led to a swarm of people harassing them, with them not being even able to say anything against the accusers. YouTube is lenient towards false accusations. So why did I make this video? Because this is fucking injustice and it burns my soul. Commentary YouTubers are sadly often throwing accusation with zero to no evidence, and it does damage or ruin other people's very life, putting them in danger of harassment and doxing. People who don't have public platforms, or people who just have tiny public platforms that can't protect themselves. And I want you to understand this injustice will continue until we stop it. And the fact that some people have the balls, the sheer nerve to come to victims of such injustices and tell them whether they are allowed or not allowed to feel wrong or hurt because of their trauma or suffering is beyond me. Now, this is off-scripted, and I just want to say that people, sadly, when they condense everything into tiny, sweet little drama, sweet little spill of tea, they don't acknowledge the harmful implications and the problems they cause others that are affected by this so-called drama. For example, the Hopeless Speeches drama. As you can see, Speeches is still affected. You can't tell her to feel somehow better or new just because the drama has passed already. No, those sticks with you. Same for Spectre. You can't tell him you can't feel sad or feel helpless because he was there. He was falsely accused. He was blamed for things that he never would imagine doing. And people bashed him and forced him to say sorry for things he didn't even do. And even after that, he was harassed and threatened. And this is just... I can't understand people who come to these people and say that they don't have a right to feel sad. This is the most selfish, disgusting thing, because not only has the audience helped their harassment and their pain and suffering, not only they did that, now they don't even allow them to feel sad for being hurt. This is actually narcissistic and toxic behavior that we need to just uproot and destroy in this community. You are allowed to feel helpless. You are allowed to say, I didn't deserve that. You are always allowed to do that, especially when you are falsely accused of something this horrible and have the entire community bashing you and harassing you online. This shouldn't even be a discussion. And I can't believe that people have the sheer nerve to come and say they don't deserve their voice. They don't deserve to be heard. They don't deserve to say that they were hurt. It's actually disgusting. I got a bit heated there. I'm sorry. I was falsely accused in my real life, not of anything horrible. It was a case of a theft. I was falsely accused in being a thief, and because of that, people just didn't want to associate with me, and they kind of boycotted me, and it caused me a lot of pain and suffering. And obviously I didn't steal anything, but this kind of things just stick with you. They won't let go, because the shame you had to suffer from the false accusation is just never going to disappear just because the drama has passed. It just doesn't work this way. People just don't work this way. And I can't believe I have to actually literally say it. Well, sorry for this tiny rant. I got off script. So, this is my thoughts. Now, what are yours? I will be happy to see you in the comments below. Tell me what you think. What do you believe? What really made you most angry among the cases I mentioned? For anyone who wants to follow me, I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have DeviantArt, I have everything and anything in the links on my channel, and I'll be happy to see you there. I'm Ace. I hope you enjoyed your visit in my humble wonderland, even though it was a bit heated today. And you may always have my tower of cards guarding you from above back to here. If you want to be a citizen of my wonderland, by all means, subscribe, like, and if you truly love this land, maybe even ring the magic bell. It's magical. It will always tell you the way back here. And of course, thank you so much for your visit.